That every time somebody asks you how you're doing, you say, "I'm busy." It's a huge problem. Watch this video to find out why. Hey, my name is Michael Thompson, and I'm a youth pastor and student. On this channel, we discuss personal and professional development from a Christian standpoint. And we got a book review today. So the book is Make Time. It's by Jake Knapp and John Zeratsky. These guys worked in the technology field. One of them worked for Google. I forget where the other guy worked, but they really focused on technology, and they know a lot about the guys who are designing your phone so that it can constantly distract you and get a hold of you. They talk about how the nerds that design technology, they're not bad people. They just genuinely want to add to your life by the way that you use technology. And this is good sometimes, but in most of our contexts, we see that technology actually rules our life in kind of a negative way. But a short summary of this book, they discuss a whole bunch of different tips to be more productive, but not necessarily to just get more done, but to be more selective in what you choose to work on. So they talk about highlight, laser, reflect, and energize. Those are like the four different areas. They say you need to choose a highlight, so choose something that's really important in your day, and then laser focus on it. Then at the end of the day, reflect. Did that work well? Did the method that I used, and do I want to use that again tomorrow? And then all throughout, you need to be making sure that you are focusing on your brain's energy, and your physical health is a huge factor to your brain's energy, so that you can go through the other steps. There's two things that these guys say greatly hurt us when it comes to accomplishing work and living purposeful lives, and that's busy bandwagons and infinity pools. They kind of come up with a funny jargon when they're writing, but you get the idea even in the term. And the word busy bandwagon, that's talking about reacting to things as they come, and then spending time doing things that don't necessarily move the needle in your work, and also putting other people's times and projects before your own. Okay, that's the busy bandwagon idea. So that combined with infinity pools, which are these things that you can spend infinite amount of time on. So that's like social media, streaming, and smartphones. And when we take control of our time by making sure that we're not on the busy bandwagon and the infinity pools can't suck the rest of our time out of our lives, we're going to be able to have so much more time left to do the things that we care about. That's the premise of the book. And your highlight, laser, reflect, and energize, all those steps help you to eliminate the busy bandwagon and to eliminate the infinity pools. And social media, streaming, and smartphones, those aren't bad, but they just need to be used in the right context and the right amount. So infinity pools aren't even bad. You just have to have limits on them so that you use them the way that, that is the most value adding to your life, rather than you never have any time because all you do is scroll on X and Twitter and TikTok and all that stuff. So this book, like I said, it's not a productivity book on how to get more done, but it's a book on how to choose what to get done so that you're not always overwhelmed. So let's talk about highlighting. Highlighting is where you choose one priority each day that you want to focus on. And you start each day, he says, by choosing a highlight, or you can choose a highlight the night before. And three ways that you can choose this most important thing to do today or tomorrow is urgency, satisfaction, and joy. Urgency being, you can ask yourself, what is the most pressing thing that I need to get done today? And that may be your highlight, right? Remember, it's one thing. We're choosing one thing every day. That's our highlight, most important thing to get done. Another question you can ask is, what do I get the most satisfied by? Maybe not the most important work thing, but spending time with the family. Maybe that's your daily highlight that is the most important thing for you to accomplish. The third way that you can pick your daily highlight is asking yourself, what brings me the most joy? So urgency, satisfaction, and joy, those are questions you can ask yourself in order to choose what's the most important thing that needs to get done. And also, when you choose your highlight, make sure you write it down. Write it down in your calendar, write it down digitally, whatever, in your notes. Make sure that you write it down. And then you can also, he says you can groundhog it. So if you didn't finish yesterday's highlight, that can be your most important highlight for today. Or not most important highlight, your one highlight, right? Your most important thing to get done. You can also stack or rank your life so that you have the 10 most important things for you to do today, and try to rank them from 1 to 10, and then circle number 1. That's your daily highlight. Once you chose your highlight, then it's time to execute. And one of the ways you can execute is by batching the little stuff. Guys, this will save you so much time. I used to have errands to do, and I would just stop what I was doing as soon as I felt the need to go run to the store and get this thing or go take care of this for work. And then I started batching my little things into Friday afternoons. So I know that Friday afternoons, I've got some time planned that I can sit down and I can execute all my little tasks. And that saves me so much time Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So make sure you batch the little stuff. Also, have a might do list and a burner list, okay? One of the best ways to save yourself time is choose not to do stuff. And there are things on all of our to-do lists, usually at work, where we can choose not to do it. And you could say, you know what, this actually isn't worth it to me. I don't need to do this task that I've been doing. Or, if your boss is telling you what to do in every area, then you don't really have that choice. But there's always things that we can get rid of that'll save us time. And then things that, have a might do list because, hey, I might do this, I might not. It relieves a lot of pressure versus this has to get done. When you say this is a to-do list, that's like your work isn't accomplished until the to-do list is finished. So might do list, burner list, those are both helpful. Also, running a personal sprint is a way that can really help you get something done, where you say, this week, I'm going to work all day on this task, or I'm going to devote all my mornings this week to a specific project. And they talk about how they did this at Google and how whenever they would choose one problem to focus on, they got compounding returns on their effort because they did it day after day after day after day. And the people were so focused on this sprint, this one big project, instead of stretching it out over months, committing 1 week to this is what we're doing. They say that helps you a ton. And I've done this with an exegesis paper before. I used to write these Greek and Hebrew papers over the span of like 2 or 3 weeks, but then I started doing this in 5 days, and it was really, really helpful. Now, getting those 5 days of 4-hour increments free is work, so you got to look ahead to know when you're going to do this sprint to accomplish a certain task. But it really helped me when I was doing some of my language papers in my master's degree. So that's how you highlight. So you choose something that's the most important in your day, and then those are different ways to execute, batch the little stuff, and then run a personal sprint. Then you laser down, okay? So you highlight, choose what you're going to do, execute it, and then laser. This is more techniques to eliminate distractions and increase your focus in your daily highlight. And the first way that you can do this is by managing your attention so that you can stay focused on what your highlight is. If you watch this channel at all, you know that I'm a huge proponent of don't let your phone distract you. Make sure that you can get away from technology so it can't constantly pull you. And you beat this distraction so that you can make time for your most important task of the day. Another way that you can laser down is understand that infinity pools are very hard to resist. So you can add a lot of friction and just remove social media from your phone and remove your passwords that are saved on your Safari or on your Google. You say, what? I have to log in every single time? Well, that friction should cause you to not log in some of the times and help you manage the amount of time you spend on those infinity pools, things that can suck your time to an infinity amount, right? And then another way that you can laser down and get stuff done is create other barriers to distraction. So I talked about, doing that with your social media, but you can also do this with send only email. This is an idea where when you're working, you have send only email, and you can look it up online and find there's different platforms that'll do this for you, but your email won't have an inbox. You'll only be able to send emails out. And this keeps you from getting distracted when you have to send someone an email, but you don't necessarily want to find another email that you're going to have to check right at that time, or that you don't have to check right at that time, but you just want to because you're easily distracted. So send only email, it's another barrier that you can add that'll keep you from getting distracted. So you highlight, then you laser. So most important task, then you focus on it. Then it's time to reflect. You highlight, you laser, and then you reflect. And this is where you regularly assess and adjust your approach based on what's going well and what's not working. The first way you can reflect is a daily review. So at the end of the day, you just get your journal out or get your notes app out, and you adjust and improve your system, and you pick, test, and repeat. So I didn't go over all the tips in here, but there's a bunch more tips that are just designed to be experimental, right? Just take a tip in there. It says use send only email and try it. And there's a lot more tips in here that we didn't get to. But at the end of your daily review, decide, I tried this. Did it work? Did it not work? I switched my focus time from morning to evening. Did it work? Did it not work? And then make a note. If you liked it, try it again. If you didn't like it, don't do it again. But this pick, test, and repeat is really helpful when it comes to productivity because everybody's different. And that's important to know. Not everybody's brain operates the same way. Not everybody cares about the same things to the same degree. And we're all different. That's a good thing. God made all of us exactly how he wanted to, differently. So different techniques are better for some people than for others. Try the techniques. Try the different time management tips. If it works, great. If it doesn't, no worries. You don't have to get up at 5 a.m. every day to be an effective person. It's more like you are intentional with the way that you spend your time to be an effective person. Also, take notes and track your results. Like I said, pick, test, repeat. But don't just do that. Make sure you write it down. And then understand that small shifts create big results. If you start batching those small tasks at the end of the week, you're going to see a huge amount of focus ability come back, and you're going to be able to have worked for more time. And an illustration of this is when you move around your times of the activities you do based on how you feel. Some people focus better in the morning. Some people focus better in the evening. Well, in your daily review, try those different tasks at different times and see, did I like it? Did I not like it? And make sure you write it down, record it. All right. The second way that you can reflect is by fine-tuning your days with the scientific method. The scientific method says observe, hypothesize or guess in the book here, and then experiment and then measure it. So you want to be going through this scientific method in your own life when it comes to your personal productivity. Make an observation. What's going on? Then say, why is it happening this way? Then experiment. Try something new. You notice that if you don't have a barrier of no meetings in the mornings, if you notice that meetings tend to always drag out and then your day is gone before you know it, try not having meetings in the mornings. Maybe you do no meeting Mondays and Fridays. That's another way that you can make sure that you block off certain times to be able to focus more. The point is reflect and try new things. If it works, keep it. If it doesn't, don't. And make sure you're writing it down so that you can keep track of the different areas that you're working on and things that you want to apply and keep. So guys, this is the book, Make Time. Highlight your most important task, laser down, reflect, and energize. And when you energize, that's talking about taking care of your body, taking breaks, having a healthy work-life balance. We didn't focus on energize a lot. We focused on highlight, laser, and reflect. But just keep in mind, being healthy personally, physically, spiritually is how you make sure that you have enough energy to go through the other steps. So guys, if you like this, pick up a copy of the book. It's not that expensive, and the tips are also in there, so you can use them for your daily review in the reflect area. And I really like the book. I recommend it. It's also not necessarily just words. Like there's like a lot of pictures and stuff on here too. So you'll see different diagrams. So yeah, get the book, use it, and highlight, laser, reflect, and make sure that you're healthy so you can keep going through those steps. We'll see you guys in the next one.